This is the most deluded fighter in the world at the moment, as far as I'm concerned. Certainly the most deluded high-profile fighter. So take a deep breath. Take a very deep breath. I'm going to now quote most deluded world champion in boxing today, because he's got some more absolute howlers for you here, people. So here goes. Deontay Wilder says, "It won't be difficult for me to make those fights with Fury and Joshua. I'm betting on myself. I move as I please. Those guys, they have to do as they are told. I make commands and demands. They take them. That's the difference between me and them. I'm like the wild card in all this. I move where I want. I can move freely. Soon I will be the biggest paid athlete in the world. If no one believes it, just watch. You'll see. The DAZN deal wasn't right. You can't do a deal if you don't know the other parts of the deal. If information is withheld from you, how can you proceed further? I am not in the business of just trying to take some money because you see a number. That's not me. That's never been me. I look at the bigger picture. You sell me a number and I know there's going to be a bigger number than that. They saw a guy they thought they could throw some money at and that would be it. But they found out the hard way. We came in serious and we were looking for serious answers and we didn't get them, and for that reason we had to leave until a further time." Boxing is like the weather. It can change instantly. Although everybody is split up, going different ways, the greatest thing about this situation with all three of us is that the doors are still open. Talks are still being talked. Negotiations are still in session. After three of us fight these fights, it's time for real serious negotiations, real serious talks, no playing around. I don't have time to play around. I've got a lot of things going on in my life the correct way. What's owed to me will come to me. I want to fight those guys. I want to see one champion, one face, one name. I want to see it done the right way, the fair way. We can go away and say we did it. We can hug it out and we can go back and support our families. So those are the words of the most deluded world champion in boxing, Deontay Wilder. He says that he is the boss, whereas Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua take orders. Does he really believe that? I know he's not the brightest. I know he's not the sharpest tool in the box. But he just turned down career high money. I mean, Deontay Wilder's highest purse was against Tyson Fury. It wasn't against somebody who nobody's ever heard of. It was against Tyson Fury. And what does that tell you? That tells you that he needs Tyson Fury. He needs AJ to make any serious money. Because when he's by himself, he ain't making no serious money. And why this is all important, as I keep having to come back to, it's not about watching Wilder's pockets. I hope Wilder makes, billions and billions of dollars. What it's about is trying to understand who really wants to fight and who don't want to fight, who's hiding behind business and who's actually serious. And right now, Team Wilder are not serious about fighting Anthony Joshua. They're just not, because they had an opportunity there to sign a deal to fight AJ on DAZN. You heard from Shelly Finkel's own mouth that he don't think there would be a rematch versus Anthony Joshua because he get knocked out so bad in the first fight that, there'd be no point of a rematch and he wouldn't go for it. So to them, it's just a one-off fight against Anthony Joshua. Well, there it was on the table for you. 40 million, a one-off fight against Anthony Joshua. Far more money than he's ever made before in his whole career. What did he make against Tyson Fury? It was something like 12 or 13 million, wasn't it? 12 or 13 million dollars. He can make 20 million against Dominic Brazil if he would have signed that DAZN deal. He could have made 20 million against Brazil, 40 million against AJ. And taking all AJ's belts, then nobody could deny him. But instead, he's gone and fought Dominic Breazeale on Showtime. It's not pay-per-view. They won't disclose, so far at least, how much he's getting. Because, of course, it's almost certain that he's getting a lot less to fight Breazeale on Showtime than he was offered to fight Breazeale on DAZN. And why that's significant is it makes him look silly. Like, why would you turn down more money for less money to fight the same opponent? Who does that? Where they do that at? I mean, you say you want the AJ fight anyway, right? So why not fight Breazeale, your mandatory on DAZN, then fight AJ on DAZN, then walk away from DAZN, go back to Showtime after that? Nothing stopping him doing that. In fact, if he wanted to, he could have negotiated. Hearn has confirmed this. He could have negotiated for just one fight against AJ. Forget the Breazeale fight. Have that on Showtime. Fight AJ on DAZN. But no. The guy who claims he's a free agent walked away from $20 million to fight his mandatory and took less for it. And this guy says he's a free agent? What kind of free agent would do that? What kind of free agent would, for the same opponent, take less money? That doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense if you're not really a free agent. Then it makes sense. And as far as the deal, talking about, we didn't accept the deal because we didn't know what AJ was getting. There were certain things in the deal they wouldn't tell us about. Well, there were lots of things that your team would not tell AJ about when your team made AJ a deal. You didn't tell AJ's team that BT were the ones putting up the money. So if AJ had agreed to your terms and taken your deal, he would have had to have broken his contract because he has an exclusive contract with Sky. He would have had to have broken the terms of his contract to fight on BT. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that AJ and Hearn wouldn't have wanted to know that the fight was basically being bankrolled by their main rivals, BT, which, of course, Frank Warren is the main promoter on BT. As if they wouldn't have wanted to know that. You see, with the offer that Deontay Wilder got to fight AJ, it's all above board. He knows it's on DAZN. He knows which network it's on. They're not hiding the network. They're not hiding who's bankrolling it. It's all above board. As far as what AJ's getting, well, did Team Wilder tell AJ what Wilder would be getting when they made AJ that offer? You see, they've got one rule for AJ and a different rule for themselves. The bottom line is Team Wilder don't want the AJ fight right now. That's just what it is. So things do change in boxing. That's one thing I'll agree with Wilder on, is things do change in boxing. The landscape changes very often and sometimes quite dramatically, fight to fight, depending on people's performances. If Anthony Joshua struggles with Jarrell Miller and goes through hell and high water, maybe he gets a controversial decision over Miller. Then let's say Deontay Wilder batters Dominic Breazeale in a couple rounds. Then all of a sudden you're going to see Deontay Wilder desperate for the AJ fight again. Then you're going to see it. Right? But if it's the other way around, if Dominic Breazeale gives Wilder hell and AJ batters Miller, then you may see Wilder kept well away from the AJ fight for a good while longer. They might pursue the Fury rematch rather than putting him anywhere near AJ. You see? So it all just depends on how the next few fights of each fighter pans out. We'll have to just wait and see. But right now, Team Wilder do not want the AJ fight. That's self-evident. And it's frustrating for the fans. But look, boxing has been like this for decades, including in the heavyweight division, where it's been fractured and you've got different fighters who, for whatever reason, won't face each other. You've got the teams of different fighters who are trying to milk their particular cash cow. And, that is what that is. And that's what they're trying to do with Wilder at the moment. They're trying to milk him. That's what they're trying to do with Fury at the moment. They're trying to milk him. AJ seems to be the only one whose team is willing to step out there and take these big risks at this time, at this moment, in terms of fighting the other guys. Maybe Fury and his team will be ready to take some big risks again in, let's say, a year. Wilder, we don't know. Maybe the same thing for them. 9 months, a year, they'll be ready to take risks again. But if we're talking about right now, AJ seems to be the only one who's willing to take the big risks right now. The other guys are talking pie in the sky and whatever. And yeah, it is frustrating, but it's how it's been in boxing for a long time. The politics, the money, all that kind of business. These guys are fighters at the end of the day. All this talk about so-and-so's a coward and this one don't want to fight and blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm sure that Tyson Fury has no fear of Anthony Joshua at all. No fear. I'm sure that Anthony Joshua has no fear of Fury or Wilder, and vice versa. These guys are not afraid of each other, but are they strategizing? Are they weighing up risk versus reward? Are they thinking about money? Are their teams thinking about money and risk versus reward? Yes, I think if there's any fear, the fear probably exists within the teams of these fighters rather than within the fighters' hearts themselves. I know fans like to make out as though it's the fighters who are full of fear, but you don't get to the level that these fighters have got to by being full of fear, because it's not as if Fury, Wilder and Joshua haven't all shown weakness. They all have shown weakness, So I know the fans like to push this narrative that so-and-so's a coward or that one's a coward. No. That's not realistic. These guys have not got to where they are in their careers by being cowards. But, Deontay Wilder, for example, is not the sharpest tool in the box. Right? But then you've got people on his team who are very sharp. And of course, Fury's a very bright man, very sharp, very clever and cunning. And Anthony Joshua, of course, and his team are smart too. So that's what it is. It's a bunch of clever people trying to outmaneuver each other and make as much money as possible, maximize profits. And I know fans don't want to hear that, but that's the reality of it. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as far as Deontay Wilder saying that he's soon going to be the highest paid athlete in the world, good luck to him. Right now, we know he's not. Right now, we know he's not even remotely close to being the highest paid athlete in the world. A Showtime going to stump up some kind of, crazy deal for him to become the highest paid athlete in the world? Maybe they will. If they do, they're going to want to recoup that money, right? Yeah, let's say Showtime come out with $150 million deal for Deontay Wilder, or $200 million deal. Some crazy deal. They want to recoup that money. Think about it. Do they have enough confidence in Wilder to be able to recoup that money? That's the thing. Anybody can come up with whatever figure, but they're looking to recoup. It's not just about spending for the sake of spending, just because you can show that you can outspend a different network. That's not what it's about. Showtime is a business. CBS is a business. If they're investing vast amounts of money in a fighter, they want to recoup and make profit. So we'll see what their plan is for Deontay Wilder in due course. I think that Wilder's got people whispering in his ear, blowing smoke up his backside and all sorts. And because he's not particularly bright, he falls for it. He's very easy for his team to manipulate. That's my opinion. That's my assessment of the situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's happening. I'm out.
Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.